Hello everybody and welcome back to Fishing Barents Sea. As always, I am Dor, and today we need to go ahead and catch a bunch of fish because we are currently broke. We are burning through our fuel here, so we need to be kind of careful. So what we're going to go ahead and do is head on out to this area here. This looks like a nice bright spot. If we go ahead and change it over to cod, we have a nice little bright patch there. It's kind of up here too. We also have this thing over here that I think we might have overfished, or it might not be showing up correctly. It might be a little buggy there. We have a couple more patches down this way, but we're going to go ahead and head to this one here and see if it's actually a big patch or not. And if it is, then we're going to go ahead and lay our hooks there. If it's not, then we are going to go ahead and just continue on up here and see if this gets any brighter in the shadowy bit here. But as this stuff is soaking, what I'm going to go ahead and do is drive on up to the port that is up north here, kind of to the right of us. I'm trying to get this zone uncovered before we start fishing, but it's the place that's all the way over here. I'm going to try and go to this place and see what that place has available to us. And then at some point today, we're also going to go over to this one and unlock the final little port thing for us to go ahead and see what that place has as well. So this place looks like it's a decent place to go ahead and fish. So I'm going to go ahead and warp back a little bit and uncover the map a little bit more so that I can see the run up here. And it looks like it's a pretty big patch. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go probably right here, and then once we get there we should be able to go ahead and lay down a thing. Yeah, we have 895 meters, so we are probably looking at a kilometer or more of space to go ahead and fish. So I'm gonna go ahead and start laying this line down. It's gonna take me a minute because it's 1,000 meters to lay down, but we should go ahead and get a decent amount of fish off of this line, hopefully, because we should have all of our lines baited for cod. All right, so with the line soaking here, I'm going to go ahead and drive on over to the port that's up top there, like I said, and we're just going to go ahead and drive because I want to go ahead and mention that if the video looks a little different than I did last episode, that's because I went ahead and messed with the graphic settings and I didn't take a screenshot of what I had them set to prior to messing with them, so that's my bad. I don't know if I'm running the same exact way I was, or if I nerfed things a little further than I had them, or increased them a little bit. I don't know if it's going to come across the video all that well because I'm using my Elgato again. It's already kind of set the way that I need it to be set so I can actually record with it, so you might be able to tell a difference, you might not be able to tell a difference, I don't know. But I went ahead and did that because I got an external capture card and I was hoping I could use the external card and run my games at a little bit higher of a graphic setting. But it doesn't seem like I can do that, at least not with this game. This game keeps crashing. And so either my computer can't handle running this game any higher, like even with the settings that it's set to now, it'll still crash every now and again. So I can't really run this game and my external card because the external card is kind of picky. It actually wants 60 frames a second. If you're not pumping out 60 frames a second, it won't capture. It'll start messing up. And so I have to nerf all of my games from here on out. After this week, I'm gonna continue trying it, and I'm gonna try and nerf all my games down to 720p 60 fps because I can run that kind of consistently. I can't run it like crazy good settings, but I can run it medium or high settings usually and hold a steady 60, kind of drop to 50 every now and again, or 40 at the worst. It's not going to make that much of a difference to YouTube right now because I upload at 720 anyways. I was kind of hoping this week would be the first 1080p video going up at 1080p 60, but my computer can't hold 60. I can run 1080 30, but for whatever reason I can't capture in 30 on the device because my monitor outputs at 60 hertz. I can't drop that any further than 50, and then I don't know how I would go into my computer graphics cards and like set it to a 30 FPS thing. Even if I lock the game at 30 FPS, the capture card doesn't register it at 30 FPS. It still tries to capture at 60, and so I can kind of get away with that using the Elgato, even though I can't hold a steady 720/60 the way I have the game set up right now. It'll still capture it on the Elgato with no real issue. Every now and again, I do run into the issue where my audio starts like making that crinkly noise and popping noises, and I'm kind of hoping I got around that by changing out my XLR cables. And so now I'm running two of the same cables instead of a mismatch of the version cables that I was running before. So if I still run into audio issues, it's probably my computer being overworked from here on out. I mean, that's the main thing that I'm kind of thinking is it's causing the audio issues here. But anyways, I guess we'll see. I'm also going to go ahead and kind of fast travel to the port here as far as we can go. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cheese it by doing this instead of actually having to drive it all the way there. We can kind of do it like this. It makes it a little bit quicker real time here so that we don't have to actually sit here for 40 minutes and try and drive all the way over there with this boat. All right, so we kind of turned around a little early there. We are just about at the 20-hour mark here, so let me go ahead and harvest up this line. We didn't quite make it to that port up there, so that's something we still need to go ahead and do. So hopefully this is our entire haul full of fish off of this one line here. Hopefully that way we can make a bunch of money and go ahead and buy some upgrades for our boat here. But I'm going to go ahead and harvest up this line. Hopefully we can get about 50%. Man, I just keep getting the okay ones today, huh? Yeah, but hopefully we can go ahead and get about 50% and get a little bit of a bonus going into our storage here so that we can go ahead and make as much money off of this as we can. And we got at least 54%, so hopefully that means we are at capacity, and we are not. I think we have a 40,000 cap and we are just a little over 20, so that's not great, but it's not terrible. We are also not in rocky waters, so I'm going to go ahead and gut all of the fish as well, and then I'm just going to go ahead and have this guy start stacking as we drive around and go toward the other ports here. All right, so I went ahead and drove the rest of the way to the port that's up here that we were going to a minute ago, and I also have another line soaking, so by the time we get back to it, it's going to be a little bit past its like 20-hour mark, so that's kind of inevitable here. I couldn't really afford to turn around because we are pretty low on fuel, and turning around and going back would have burned another 1,000 or so we would have been in a little bit of trouble there. But we are making a decent amount of money here. What is that, like 7 something on its own there? And then after the sale or purchase of the bait, we are only making 529,000, so that's pretty good. Let me go ahead and refuel the boat here before I forget to do that. I also haven't named the boat here. I don't think I'm gonna name it because by next episode we should be on the last boat here. But while we are here, let's go ahead and buy the hook, or yeah, the hook thing, and then the knife thing as well, to go ahead and upgrade those guys again. We have another 300,000. That's going to be 395 if we buy that stuff. So let's go ahead and buy the last hook. That's going to go ahead and give us 8% bigger fish. And then I think we're going to leave the knife thing alone. I don't really know why we're not getting a bonus or a negative to gutting. I think you're supposed to lose fish if you do bad gutting, but we're not getting any of that. So I don't know what's going on there. But I'm going to go ahead and drive back out to the line that we have soaking. We have one more line that is baited right now, so we can go ahead and lay down yet another one. But I'm going to go ahead and harvest up that line really quick, see how much fish we actually have off of it. We're not going to do too well with it, but it's going to be better than nothing. And then we're going to go ahead and start chugging along toward this place until we are done stacking. And then hopefully by the time we get to about here, maybe, we have all of our stacking and gutting done. We're going to do the gutting manually, but hopefully the stacking is done by the guy, and then we can go ahead and hopefully find a better patch of fish in that area, kind of depending if we have to go somewhere else or not. Also kind of depending on whether or not this place is completely like faded out. If it's too faded, then we won't go ahead and place another line here, but if it's still bright and green, then we'll just go ahead and lay the line here. Oh, you know what? Even with the oversoak, we still got an entire hull of fish here. So we are completely maxed out on weight here. I'm going to go ahead and gut the fish. So this should be close to $1 million line, kind of, or minus the bait, but we should make 6 figures again, probably 700 maybe. All right, so we drove to the port that is up here on top of the map, and I think this is the last one that we can go to. So let's go ahead and see what this has available to us. We are making $1 million off of the cod alone, and so let's go ahead and see what our actual profit is. We made 882,000. Okay, good. That is a decent amount of money there. We're sitting almost at $1 million again. This port does not have the ability to upgrade our boats or purchase a new one, so that's okay. We also can go ahead and take out bank loans or side missions from this place, so that's nice. The biggest loan we can take out right now is 4.9, so I kind of want to go ahead and get as much money as I can just by fishing right now, and then what we'll end up doing is taking out a loan and hopefully buying the Hermes, I think is the very last ship, so we're going to go ahead and do that. But I need to go ahead and lay this last line down. I'm trying to see if anybody is cheap to buy. Everybody's like 1 point something. I want to go ahead and get another person that has decent stamina and is at a 1.0 rate instead of the 1.3 rate or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave this place. We are good on fuel. I don't want to waste any money on that. We're going to kind of go as long as we can without having to refuel. And so I'm going to go find a place to go ahead and lay this last line down. We are still doing the COD stuff, so I need to go ahead and open up the map and see where a decent spot is. So this place didn't lose that much brightness. It's not exactly the greatest, but we can go ahead and fish there if we want. And it's not looking too hot anywhere else. I'm going to go ahead and go to this place and see if this little area gets any bigger. Worst case scenario, we can go ahead and just go to this thing and then across. It's nice and bright, so it should be plenty of fish there for us to go ahead and get. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and fast travel over there, lay the line down, and then harvest it, and then we can go ahead and head on over to Hammerfest, because that's the only place that seems to be able to sell us boats or upgrade our boats. So I'm going to go ahead and head back there and sell that, and then hopefully we can go ahead and take out a big enough loan, or I might have to go ahead and do some more fishing here in between episodes to go ahead and get the money required to go ahead and take out the loan so that we can go ahead and actually buy that Hermes and go fishing or go trawling with it, because that's what you do with that one. You don't go fishing like we've been doing here. We go out to the open waters and we go ahead and drag that big fishing net thing behind the boats and rake in a bunch of fish in one go instead of what we're doing here. We're gonna make like double or triple the amount of money that we've been making. All right, well, we didn't have quite a full boatload of fish here, but we did get 792,000 off of that delivery, so that is pretty decent. We're sitting at 1.7 million right now, and we can take out a loan of 8.8 million. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a lot more fishing in between episodes here. We need to go ahead and get back up to about 2 to 3, I think, because I think this used to be at 14 million before I bought this boat, and I think all we had was like 2 point something million going into it, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and do a bit more fishing, get a bit more money so that we can go ahead and take out the rest of the money that we need for the boat here. So we need a total of, I think it is 20 million, 19 point something million. Yeah, we need 19.9 million. So I'm going to go ahead and get at least maybe 5 million on my own here to see if maybe we can take out a loan that is that much. Ideally, I would like to have more than the asking amount for the boat, because we do still need to go ahead and buy some upgrades and stuff for it. So I'm going to try and get a bunch of money. I might even go back and try and do that side mission, because that's going to be a guaranteed like set amount, even though I have to do that drive. I'm kind of debating on it, but I might not at all, to be honest. I might just go ahead and stick with the long line fishing here. We do need to go ahead and buy fuel again because we're pretty much out. But I'm going to go ahead and bait the lines again. We're going to go back out looking for cod, because they're still the best fish for us right now in September. Once it ticks over to October, it might change to a different fish, but for right now we'll stick with the cod here. We're gonna go ahead and bait the lines and go do another round of fishing here. Okay, so I went ahead and did 3 more lines here. We are currently sitting at 4.2 million, and the last line that I just pulled in actually gave us $1 million, so I think that might be the most profitable line that we've had so far. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is actually head on over to the bank, and we are gonna go ahead and take out a loan. So we're gonna go for the most amount that we can get right now, which is going to be 21.2 million. So we're going to go ahead and take that out, and that's going to bump us up to 25.5 million. So let's go ahead and buy the very last boat here. So we need to go to purchase boat. We're going to go down to the Hermes, and the only difference between this one and the lunar bow is the trawling type. So this one's a bottom trawler and this one's a pelagic trawler. I don't know what that is exactly, but we're going to go with the Hermes because I think it's the biggest boat that we can get. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that, and if we go ahead and head on over to this screen again and go to the upgrades, we can go ahead and increase the storage capacity. So it's 4 million for the biggest storage capacity available. I did not realize it was going to be that expensive. So let's actually go down and see. So we are in the millions as well for the engine upgrades. We are kind of reasonably priced for the radar upgrades. The gutting machine might need to be purchased because we're going to be dealing with a ton of fish that I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually manually gut the stuff. It takes me like a couple minutes now doing the little boat that we just had when we have a full load, so I'm not too excited to have to gut however much weight we can carry on this thing. We have a freezer, we have the quota thing, we have stacking again, we have a scanner for the trolling doors, we have sensors again, we have more sensors, and then we have side thrusters, but those are automatically equipped onto our boat here. So what I want to go ahead and do is kind of see if we can do something. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the upgrades for the radar, because those are going to come in handy really quickly, just to go ahead and uncover a bunch of the map here. And then I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the engine 1 tier. So that's not going to be too expensive. It's expensive because it's $1 million, but it's not too bad here. And I'm going to leave the rest of this stuff alone really quick. What I want to go ahead and see is if we are able to go ahead. Oh, we need at least 4 crew members. Okay, so let me actually hire some crew members. This guy's 1%, his stamina's decent, and we don't really have an option with the other people here, so we just have to go ahead and hire them just so we can go ahead and leave the port here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is head on over to the port that's over here on the top left, the one where we were doing the mission back and forth. I want to see if we can load this boat up with the mission here and just make a bunch of money really quick. So I need to go ahead and get away from this wall because we have the sideways thrusters. I think I'm going the wrong way with them. Yeah, I'm going into the wall instead of away from the wall. So let's go ahead and get away from it if we can. There we go. We're turning now. Let me also turn all the lights off and stuff so we don't have lights on for some reason on the boat here. And this thing is absolutely massive, so that's pretty cool. Once we are out of this zone thing, I'm just going to go ahead and fast travel to it just to see if we can actually do that mission or not. I don't know if we can with this thing. If we can, then what are we pulling? We are pulling 200,000 kilograms right now, so every 1,000 was $1 million, wasn't it? Or 100,000 or something like that. So we're going to make a ton of money if we can do that mission. Okay, so we can indeed do it. We're not getting a ton of money. We're just getting like 265,000, I think it is, for this one mission. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in between episodes. But before we go ahead and wrap up here, let me go ahead and leave the port here, and then we can go ahead and walk around the boat here really quickly. So let's go ahead and get out of the seat and see all the things that are new. So when we are driving the boat, we're going to be using this thing here. This is going to go ahead and be the main driving seat, and then when we are trawling, we are going to be sitting in this seat and looking at all the gauges and trying to keep the trawling doors at a certain height. So I want to go ahead and do this mission a couple times. Hopefully it like adjusts to the amount of weight that we can carry in this boat, so that way we can make a ton of money so that I can go ahead and buy the rest of the upgrades before we actually go trawling, because without those upgrades it's going to be a little awkward trying to gauge how deep the doors are and how much fish is actually in the things there, so we're not wasting time dragging with a full net instead of just bringing them back up here. So we have a little rescue boat that's on the side of this thing. That's pretty cool. And what else do we have here? So this is the main room. Let me go back in here. There's probably another doorway that leads down under the deck here, right? All right, there we go. So we found the room here. So we have a medical area here. So we have 2 medical beds, and that's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and go into this one. What do we have here? We have a bathroom, I believe. Yeah, we can't open that. And then down the hallway here, we have a kitchen dining area, so that's nice. There's a lot of seats here, more than we could ever have on the crew, I think. I think we can only have like 6 people or something like that. Multiple bathrooms all over the place. We have 3 bathrooms so far. Another room we can't go into. Another room we can't go into. Can't go into these ones either. And I think that might be it for this floor, because all of these other doors we can't actually go into. So there's a staircase back this way that goes upwards. That's the bathroom. That's a hallway that goes nowhere. And at the top of the staircase here, let's see, what do we got? We got a bedroom, we got another bedroom, and we have a hallway that goes nowhere. Nope, this actually goes somewhere, but we can't actually walk in there because there's an invisible wall. Okay, but it looks like a bedroom, or no, it looks like maybe a bathroom of sorts. Maybe a bedroom with a bathroom. I don't know what that is, to be honest, because I can't open the door. Another bedroom, and yet again another bedroom office type thing. Okay, so I think that's everything that's available in this boat to go to. I'm going to go ahead and check the bottom here because there's probably an engine room, right? If we can go another tier lower from where we're at right now. Okay, so I don't think there is any other rooms I can get to. I don't see any more doors. That door down there isn't something I can actually interact with, so that was the only door I can actually get to. I can't go past the big spool of wire there. I can't even get to this side of the boat here. So for right now, I think that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.